Okay, let's see if Facebook wants to work with me on my cell phone. Again, I am so sorry for the technical difficulties here, guys. Getting the angle right. Yeah, okay. Cool. I love my little background. Okay, so the screen is going to be a little bit backward, but that's all right. Let's see what's going on, shall we? We'll tap into our medicine cards and see what the universe and the animals have to say for us. All right, so production manager says all set on the cell phone. All right, so who is tuning in? I know it's kind of frustrating when we get technical difficulties like that, and I don't know what's going on. I use Chrome. I don't know. But let's see if the animals have anything to say for it, right? Shall we? Mouse. I have not encountered mouse very often, so let's see what mouse has to say. For those of you tuning in, good morning. Welcome to Rise and Shine with me, Cassandra. We are about to step into our medicine cards, which is a really just kind of a fun, playful way to start your day with a little bit of divination as far as what you should be paying attention to, what's going on in your life. So if you are here, which you are, this message, usually when I do a group reading, I'll usually pull a card for one person within the group, but there are no accidents and you are here for a reason. And so this message could have some pertinence to you. It's kind of like a horoscope, except instead of giving you a story, each animal stands for a particular characteristic or trait. And it's kind of just reminding you to look within yourself. It's a great way to be introspective. So I always love starting my mornings off with that after my meditation. So we just pulled mouse, and mouse stands for scrutiny. Mouse says, I will touch everything with my whiskers in order to know it. Paradoxically, this is both a great power and a great weakness. It is good medicine to see up close. It is good medicine to pay attention to detail, but it is bad medicine to chew every little thing to pieces. Mouse has many predatory enemies, including birds, snakes, and cats. Since mouse is food for many, it has a highly developed sense of danger at every turn. So-called civilization is a highly complex set of components which calls for more and more organizational skills and scrutiny to detail every year. Sure does. Mouse is a powerful medicine to have in these modern times. Things that might appear insignificant to others take on enormous importance to mouse. So it's time to really focus on, what could be considered a little thing. Now we've got the time to be able to focus on it and develop it and pay attention to it versus just glazing over it. Mouse people anger many other medicine types because they appear to be nitpickers. Mouse people will spot the lint on your coat even if it matches in color. Who knows somebody like that? They will try to convince you that the simplest task is fraught with difficulty. They are fixated on methodology. They sort and categorize and file away for later use. They may seem like they are hoarding, but this is the farthest thing from Mouse's mind. They are merely putting everything in order so that they will be able to explore it more carefully at a later date. How many of you guys have set things aside during normal life that now, thanks to quarantine, we can actually go and pick up again? Books, projects, conversations with people that you maybe didn't want to have, right? Mouse is telling you that this is the time you can go ahead and do it. The chiefs tell us that without Mouse, there would be no systemization of knowledge. Mouse ended Renaissance man and hearkened the age of specialization. Mouse knew from the very beginning that there is always more to learn. One can always delve deeper and deeper and deeper. That's what we're all about here at Rise and Shine, going in. If your personal medicine is mouse, you may be fearful of life, but very well organized with a compartment for everything. You should try to see the larger picture than one staring you in the face. Develop largesse of spirit. Try to become more aware of the great dance of life. Realize that even though you may be sitting in Los Angeles, there is also a New York, a moon, a solar system, a galaxy, and an infinite universe. Jump high, little friend. You will glimpse the sacred mountain. If Mouse is in your card spread, which he is today, its medicine is telling you to scrutinize. Look at yourself and others carefully. Maybe that big hunk of cheese is sitting on a trigger that will spring a deadly trap. Maybe the cat is in the pantry waiting for you. In my case, she's down here, keeps trying to jump on my lap. Maybe someone to whom you have delegated authority, such as a doctor, a lawyer, or even a plumber, is not doing the job faithfully. The message is to see what is right before your eyes and take action accordingly. Does that resonate with anybody? I want to know. Type in the comments and let me know if mouse medicine is coming up for anything. So basically, it's a call to just scrutinize, and scrutiny gets a bad name sometimes, often referred to as judging. And it's not really necessarily that we want to be judging people or things right now, but we just want to make more thorough understanding and make sure things are going as planned. So, that being said, we've done our meditation portion, our medicine card. Let's tap into Freedom Friday and what that's about. So for those of you guys just tuning in, Freedom Friday, we're all about learning how to forgive and leave the past in the past. So I would love you to interact with me. Type in the comments below, first off, who you are, where you're tuning in from. And then second, what are some things, people, circumstances that you feel warrant forgiveness? Either yourself, maybe you've done something that you would like to have forgiveness. Now's your time for a shout out. Or you feel that there's some person or situation that you feel like you've been trying to forgive and it just hasn't happened yet, but you know you need to forgive because you want to be over it. Type in the comments below and I'm going to help you work through it. As you are typing, in the meantime, let's piggyback on yesterday's episode where we were diving into being more conscious about your thoughts, your words, and your actions. And I'd like to start this off with a quote that I got from the holistic psychologist, Dr. Nicole LaPera. She was on the School of Greatness podcast yesterday, and I'd like to share this portion with you. None of us are our thoughts. We believe we are. We believe we are the stories we tell ourselves. That's all created from our past conditioning. These patterns of thinking in our head are from our ego. Who we are is actually the awareness behind our thoughts. So we're not our thoughts. It's when we start peeling back and questioning them and finding the root of them, that inquisitiveness and that nature of where that thought process is coming from, that is who we are. When we peel back all the layers, like wearing so many different layers of clothing, we peel it back. That's who we are, naked and raw in our own skin, not the layers that society and parents and conditioning have put on us. And that's why it's so important to start being aware of the thoughts that you're thinking. So yesterday, I asked you to journal out and be aware of the positive thoughts you think and the negative thoughts you think throughout the day. And I challenge you to keep going forward and doing this throughout the days to come for at least a week. So if you have a journal handy, please go ahead and snag it. If not, you can go back to the recording of this later because we're going to dive into the next portion, which is taking a look at all the good things you tell yourself, specifically the way you celebrate. So we've got our chunk of our list of our positive things that we say. Okay, Tiger Lily has been dying to say hello. Say hi, everybody. Hi, Lily. Okay, you good now? Can we carry on? I'm wearing black leggings, so I really don't feel like having her hair all over it. So yesterday we started thinking about being aware of the positive and negative shit talk that we say, but not just to ourselves, just in general, the positive thoughts we have, like, wow, that was really awesome he did that for me today, or why is she such a bitch? Like all these thoughts, right? And it's great to have these down on paper because then you can go back to them later and analyze them and think of what we're going to get into in a little bit here. Where did that thought actually come from? Did I say it because I was just hangry, or did I say it because I really feel these things? Most of the time, you're saying them because of an external source, and it's not actually the thing that you actually believe. So today, I'd like you to think about What are some of the things you tell yourself about yourself? What are the good things and the bad things? And unfortunately, just like in yesterday's video, pretty sure you're going to find more bad things that you say about yourself than good. It's sad but true, but that's just because we're constantly trying to live up to standards that have been impressed upon us unrealistically from external sources. And usually those standards that we're trying to live up to are because of somebody else's inability to live up to those standards. So they have said, well, learn from my mistakes, or learn from me, or be better than me. And that puts added pressure, because if they couldn't achieve it, how are you supposed to achieve it? Doesn't mean you can't, but now you're judging yourself before you can even get started. So think about all the standards that you set yourself up to. And trust me, having standards are good, especially in the dating world. But take a look and see if those standards are true and authentic for you, or if they've been imposed upon you by external sources. And the way you peel these back and find out is first being aware of those thoughts, right? So you want to think about the things that you tell yourself. Now I want you to think about the way you celebrate things, if you even celebrate things at all. And feel free, interact with me. Tell me, type on your keyboard, what are some things that you celebrate? Okay, so most of us have celebrated our birthdays, but do you continue to celebrate your birthday as you get older? It seems to be a growing theme with many people that it becomes a lesser importance as we grow up, right? Oh, I've got so much going on. My friends have so much going on. We don't have time to celebrate, or it's just another day. Well, yeah, in that case, every day is another day. Everything is just another thing that happened. Every occasion is just another day, right? But part of the joy of living is celebrating, and part of living is embracing and taking all that's there. So when you are dismissing things and you're cutting them down to size and diminishing them in value, you're diminishing yourself in value. And if you don't value you, how is anyone else going to value you? And we all want to be valued. Even those in denial saying, nah, I don't need anybody. I don't need anyone's approval. It's not about their approval. It's about being acknowledged and considered and seen and heard and understood. We all crave those things as much of in denial as you want to be. And those of us who are in denial, I've been there. I have been in a very dark place years ago. And it was, I don't need anybody because no one understands me. Nobody can. So I just don't need them. And it was, if you trace that back, I felt like I had to be alone because no one understood me. I just wasn't surrounding myself with the right people. And I didn't understand me. And I thought I was starting to understand me. And I had all these judgments that no one else could understand me. So it's an avalanche of thoughts and feelings, which is why you have to work backward. So take a look at how you celebrate things, if you celebrate things, and I challenge you to start finding one thing to celebrate a week. Sound easy? Okay. Find one thing you can celebrate every day. When you start finding something to celebrate, something to get excited about, you start bringing more vitality into your life, into your mornings. And it's really great to have this reminder. Or maybe you're not like throwing a party, but maybe you're celebrating the fact that you've got a new project that's going on that you're excited to accomplish, or you've got a new love interest or something. And rather than go off the deep end and just turn into a crazy person and celebrate that, like, oh, you're so amazing. Rather than that, keep that thought of joy, the feeling. Focus on the feeling you get from that thought. And even write it down. Put a little sticky note in your planner or on your phone or whatnot, and carry that around with you. Find something to get excited about. Celebrating life. We've probably met at least one person in our lifetime that's just like, Oh, what are you so happy about? I'm just happy about life. I'm high on life. I'm happy about it. And that sounded so freaking corny to me, especially when I was in my dark place. But when you can find reasons to celebrate and get excited about things, you can cultivate that joy. Just like in those previous videos, when you physically make yourself smile, it signals to your brain, oh, she's smiling. She must be happy about something. Okay, let's kick in the dopamine. Now we actually are happy. It's that perpetual motion. It's that positivity breeds positivity just as contagiously as negativity does. You just got to get there. You got to put in that effort. It's got a higher boiling point. So when you start finding things to celebrate, you bring more things worthy of celebration to you. It's the law of attraction. What you focus on grows. What you appreciate appreciates. So when you start having this positive momentum and start thinking like, yeah, I'm going to celebrate this, or I'm going to, cleaning sucks, but you know what? I'm going to turn on some music and I'm going to dance and I'm going to kill two birds with one stone. I'm going to clean and get cardio. Boom. I'm excited about that because now I'm living in a nice, clean, welcoming space and I'm getting fit. Awesome. Oh, and then so-and-so just called me. Like you're just drawing all these good things to you the more you stay in that happy state of mind. It's not about being happy all the time. It's about remembering and having something to call back to. If you look at previous videos, we talked about little motions, little subtle things that you can do to remind yourself to bring back and remember that happy state of mind, that positive state of mind, that goal that you are striving towards to keep you centered, to keep you focused, to keep you going. So it's important to find things to celebrate. It might not be a calendar event, but you can make it one. And if you're not sure, Google what holiday is today, what is National Day today, because globally and nationally, there literally is pretty much every day of the year, and often several days have duplicates. Like one day of the year might be national this, and it's also national that. So if you're really looking for things to celebrate, if you really are stretching yourself and you can't think of something, two things. Google what national day it is today, which I don't know. I haven't Googled it. But go ahead, Google and find out what national day it is and type in, let me know what you find. Or you can reach out to somebody you love and care about and ask them, hey, I'm trying this new thing out. Give me something to celebrate today. Tell me something good about your life that I can celebrate you. Or tell me something that you like about me that I can celebrate about me. And challenge each other to do the same thing. Because in this, you're growing bonds and you're growing appreciation. And what you appreciate does appreciate. Okay. How do you speak about yourself to others? So we're already working on how we think and feel about ourselves, which is our one container. How we speak about ourselves is entirely different. Maybe you have really great self-esteem, but you diminish it because you want to appear humble, and you don't want to outshine your light around other people. There's this thing called the crime of outshining. And when I was going through my own therapy with my own mother issues, the mother wound, I realized that that was a big effect for me, was the crime of outshining. Like most of you, I'm sure this applies to, when you were younger, you were this radiant, vibrant, outgoing little kid, right? You didn't know any wrong until somebody said, no, 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 don't do that. Or, shh, calm down, you're being too loud. Or, would you just sit still? That came to say, okay, you're too loud, tone it down. Douse your light. You're shining too bright. Shh. Don't be the star. When I would get leads in musicals and the plays that we would do at school, I knew I was supposed to be there. I knew I was good. I knew I was right for the part, and I slayed it when I was on stage. But the second I came off stage, I immediately doused that light. Like, oh, it wasn't that good. Like, it was okay. Or, oh, I didn't know how to feel. And sometimes people project and they diminish and they compliment other people, which complimenting other people is great, but allow yourself to receive the compliments. Allow yourself to acknowledge the good in you, because there is good in you. You are talented. You are awesome in so many different ways. And your little kid self knew that, but somebody made them feel that they needed to not be so awesome, not be so big, not have such a big personality, not have so much love, not have so much talent, because other people didn't have it. And if you showed your light and you showed how good you are at that, then they're going to feel bad about them not having it. No, build each other up. And what good, Marianne Williamson has this amazing quote. And to paraphrase, she basically says, you're asking yourself, who are you to shine so bright and be so awesome? No, who are you to not shine so bright and not be so awesome? God doesn't make garbage. God doesn't put you here to just play small. He doesn't make extra humans. So you're here for a reason. And no one ever made history by playing small and being sheep. No one ever made history by you're wasting your time by wasting your gifts. You have so much to provide. And what does she say? She says, the world doesn't benefit from you playing small, basically is what she says. And if you think about the quote, the metaphor, a candle doesn't dim its light by sharing its light with other people or with other candles. In fact, the light grows. So think about the way you talk about yourself when you're talking about yourself around other people. When people compliment you, do you just brush off the compliments? Or do you've got your freaking Kevlar on and that shit bounces off like it doesn't even resonate? It's all about receiving, acknowledging. Even if you don't accept or believe the compliment that somebody gives you, it's time now to just say thank you. Because you let it soak in a little bit more at a time, a little bit more, and you will eventually start to convince yourself. Because you've already convinced yourself of all the negative crap, why don't you start convincing yourself of all the positive stuff, right? So be conscious of how you speak about yourself to others. Oh, I'm always doing that dumb stuff, or I'm always saying that I can't do anything right, or that wasn't that great. Cut it out! If somebody compliments you, or you did something well, own it. And women especially. Women do this so much more. I mean, men do it too, but women have a much bigger propensity towards diminishing and demoralization than men do. I mean, you look at many men, especially successful men, and they own their successes. Admirable men also own their failures, and we're taught that that's an admirable quality for both men and women, right? To own your responsibilities, own your failures. Absolutely. Don't skirt responsibility, but own the good. And if you mess up, you know what? I did screw up, but I'm going to get better. I can do better. And keep pushing, because you're not going to get better by not pushing towards better. And that goes with your thoughts too. So if you catch yourself you're already talking shit about yourself in your own head. Now, see, that's where the thoughts come in, and then to the words, which then comes the actions. So when you start seeing how you're talking about yourself out loud to other people, that's where you can start taking control of the actions that are going to follow. So watch the words that you're saying about yourself. And my goodness, if you are someone who is also gossiping and talking crap about other people, I got news for you. The world is a mirror. And you can be cliche, what goes around comes around, karma, blah, blah, blah. But when you see qualities that you are not loving in other people, just the same as when you see qualities that you love in other people, it's a reflection of what's also within you. So I used to get picked on my whole entire elementary, middle, high school career, and I couldn't understand it. I wasn't ugly. I was good at pretty much everything I did. And yet kids would push me in the lockers. They would spit on me. They would knock my books out of my hands. They would play a bunch of pranks on me. They would vandalize. I came from a small town. My high school class was 64 kids that I graduated with. So we all knew whose car was whose. They would vandalize my car. It sucked. And I could never understand it because I was nice to them and I excelled at everything. I was the lead in the plays and the musicals. I had solos in band and color guard captain, captain of this, president of that, blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't understand why they were mean to me. And I thought that I just had to be nicer. And so I doused my light. Instead of owning, you know what? And of course my parents would always say, oh, they're just jealous of you. And I couldn't let that sink in because who would be jealous of me? I'm just doing what they can do, but I'm doing it. Why? And it's those limiting beliefs that you put on yourself. They were projecting onto me what they didn't believe in of themselves. And I had this knowing that I was good, but I didn't believe in myself. And those are two totally different things. So for those of you who say, I love myself, I'm good, I don't need any coaching or anything like that, I challenge you, peel back the layers. I didn't know this at the time. I know now. It's going back. So they were reflecting my own insecurities back to me. And I was reflecting their insecurities to them. You see how that works? I was showing them, instead of showing them what they couldn't do, I was showing them what was possible, but they didn't believe in themselves enough to think that they could do those things. And so they didn't. And so they attacked because they couldn't build themselves up, so they brought themselves down, and they wanted to bring me down with them. And I couldn't understand why they didn't do it because I just thought everyone could do it. Like, I didn't think that I was gifted or special in these things. I thought we're all capable of it. And we are. So I was getting my own insecurities back to me from them. And they were getting what was possible back to them. Does that make sense? So think about the way you speak to other people about yourself and about others. It will come back and show you, when you look into that, you'll start to peel back the layers. What is in this about me? Now, it's not to say every interaction and everything like that comes back to you and is a reflection and it's like, oh, it means this and it means that. That person was a random dickhead to me, and so that means it. No. But take a look and pay attention to the things that really stand out to you, that really seem to cut you deep. The things that, and the good things too. Because when you start noticing and owning your own good qualities, you'll see them in other people. And conversely, it's easier to see them in other people than it is yourself. I get that. So start focusing on when you notice something good about somebody else, see how that's reflected to you and how you can see that good in yourself. So play that mirror exercise. What do I see in you? What can I draw from that? And how can I see that in me? How can I find that in me? And the next thing is I'd like you to take a look at the way you respond to stressful situations. This is a perfect example, being in the coronavirus world. Have you responded or have you reacted? Have you responded to taking advantage and getting all the things done, doing all the things? Like, I'll be honest, I am thriving in this quarantine because I'm doing all the things that I've been pushing off. It's awesome. So that's cool. Or have you gotten depressed and turned on? I saw one meme said that since they're not in college right now, since college was canceled, instead of gaining the freshman 15, they're gaining the Corona 19 or the COVID 19. Have you just taken to stress eating and coping like that? So pay attention to the way you respond and react during stressful situations? Do you immediately clench your fist? Do you clench your jaw? In your jaw, you'll notice so much stress is carried there. When you feel stressful, I encourage you to start kind of massaging your jaw, because when you can become conscious of how much you're tensing up your jaw, which we are a lot, that's where I hold most of my tension. Some of you tense up in your arms, your upper body, your glutes. It's a great way. Having a stressful life is a great way to get a great ass, but it's not the way to go about it. There's better ways to do that. So pay attention to the way you respond to stress and handle stressful situations. Are you the person that just like, I got this, like you come to the rescue? Or are you the person that is just like, oh God, this guy is falling. I just want to like huddle up under a blanket and just be done with it and pretend nothing's happening. There's a time and a place, and it's okay however you respond to these situations. I'm just asking you to take note of it and see what you can learn about yourself from that. See what your given truths are, and see what's actually just conditioning from the way you've been taught to respond. Maybe you're not responding the way you naturally would, but you've been conditioned to learn that, oh, I have to respond this way. So take a look at that. These are all going to give you breadcrumbs into how you're thinking, from the way you're speaking into how you're thinking. And it's knowing how you're thinking is what can help set into mind and movement, positive mindset to program you to what you actually want to have happen, you actually want to bring in your life, than what you currently have. So from there, one more thing before I open it up for questions. And the other thing is, I want you to take note of what your habits are. That's the next step, right? What you think, what you say, what you do, and what you do becomes your habits. So take a look at what some of your habits are. Do you pick your nose? Do you bite your nails? Do you have a habit of being overly nice to people? Do you have a habit of withdrawing? Again, this ties into the stressful situations. But then you can look at it in other situations too. In fun situations, do you take charge? Do you follow the leader? Just kind of getting an awareness of a sense of self, of who you are, how you act, how you respond, what your habits are. This is basically, we're building a topography map of who you are. We're getting an overview, a bird's eye view of who and how you are, so you can find out who you really are and what is actually just conditioning that's brought you to who you've become. So who you currently are isn't necessarily who you are, it's just who you have become thus far. Boom. So think about that and tell me how you feel and how this resonates with you, because I am here to serve you. Now, it is Friday, and I said before, it is Freedom Friday. I know that's backwards because I had to switch to my phone because I don't know what's going on with Facebook on my laptop. But I want to know, what are some situations and some scenarios that either you feel you need to be forgiven for, that you regret and you would like forgiveness on, and or a situation or a person that you feel you should probably forgive and you just haven't bothered to. Because as we get further, deeper and deeper into these episodes, they're all building on each other. So if you're just now discovering me and you like what you're hearing, I encourage you to go back to episode 1 and keep following through on these videos, because they're all building. We're laying the foundation. I'm giving you actionable steps and items to take to remove the blocks, to discover what the hidden limiting beliefs are in your life that are holding you back, and helping you move forward to achieve your goals, to get through stressful situations, i.e. COVID, and to really thrive, not just in this situation, not just in business, not just in relationships, but whatever your goals are, and in general, to thrive in life. So that is what I'm about. Let me know so I can help you. Okay, so while I'm waiting for you guys to type in and let me know what's up, just a couple of housekeeping things. If you like what you're hearing and you've watched the videos, you've been following me for a bit, you can always go back to TQN over here. You can find the videos on here. You can also find them on my site, Cassandra Renee, which in Facebook land The handle is Wild Blossom Beacon Coaching. And this thing, even though I know it's backward, Wild Blossom, like a wildflower, Beacon, a beacon of light, coaching. That's the name. So you can go there, and if you would like to know more about how this works, if you would like some more private one-on-one coaching, I am available for that. Send me a message and we can schedule a clarity call so we can kind of get focused on what you want to do. It's totally free. And speaking of free, I am giving away a prize package worth over $300. It is a 1-hour private session coaching with me, as well as my 4 biggest keys to falling in love with yourself, which is normally valued at about $97. The hour with me is about $210. We're giving it away here totally for free. All you have to do is share one of these videos from the Quarantine Network and tag a person, at least one friend, to this video that you're sharing, and use one of these hashtags or all. Hashtag TQN, hashtag TQN Cassandra. Remember, there's no in my name. And hashtag Wild Blossom Beacon. You can use one or all or a couple. It's up to you. But that's how you get entered to win this prize package. So tag one of these videos from the Quarantine Network, share one of these videos from the Quarantine Network and tag a friend. And for each additional friend you tag, you'll get an extra entry. And use one of those hashtags. Yeah, and then you're entered. All right, guys. Well, unfortunately, I didn't see any comments come up here. I know Facebook's been wonky, so if you have commented, I am going to go back and check the video. So I apologize if it's not here, if I wasn't able to address what you've got going on. I really do want to address it. So send me a message, DM me, comment on the video. I'll come back and review it. And yeah, that's my time here. Stay tuned. I'm going to be popping back again at 11:05 Pacific Standard Time. That is 2:05 Eastern Standard Time with your midday mindset shift. So stay tuned for that. And after that, I'll see you for Rise and Shine again on Monday, same time. Till then, guys, cough into your elbows, wash your hands, and stay home. Love ya. Bye.